Welcome to the United States of Tiffany. Our commentary offers a humorous take on wrestling. Please note, we're not bullying or attacking the wrestlers. We're engaging with the choreographed sport and its storylines. Our jokes and observations are about the characters and storylines, not the real people behind them. Tourists and citizens alike, welcome. Enjoy the show, and remember, it's all in good fun.
Still don't know my worth, still stressing perfection. Let you all in my mental, got me looking too desperate. Damn, you ain't desired. Time. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it. If I say I hate you, I mean it. If I say I love you, I mean it.
If I ever heard one, and I'm still here outside, front line, south side. I've been losing friends and finding peace. Honestly, that sound like a fair trade to me. Rolling 80 wheels in a stage. Riding on you. Gotta roll over to you, gotta give and release. Spread your legs downtown, so I'm going out to eat. Hit the raw sounds, when I rock up in your with me. I'ma roll on the forever, let her roll on me. Split this one down the middle, wake up in harmony.
A claps.
Don't close your eyes to get away. Just make my mind and I'll arrange it. You
Get your ass an apartment, put you inside a G-Class. That's just a starter kit. Plenty things count in life, but none of them is the thought of it. New piece around my neck, this chess games. But shorty stay with calculated moves like Beth Harmon. Swear I'm more purple rain prince than Prince Charming. Disappointment I stay expecting it. The pessimist gold medalists flush the magnums just so they not collecting my specimens down.
How much a year can change?
Okay, so I apologize for me being late, but I had to make sure I got everything worked out. We had a little technical difficulties, but we are good. Okay, so shout out to all of y'all who came in here early, ready to roll. Hello, 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 hello to you all. Let's get into it because again, Raw was very simplistic in what it wanted to convey. But it got its point across when it came to the triple threat and adding a little bit more fuel to the fire. Okay. But first things first, let's get some things out the way. All right. Let's talk about Gunther because Gunther seems to be extremely rattled by Jey Uso's confidence and his non-ability to be afraid of Gunther anymore. He seems to be on edge. He was very outside of his comfort zone, very much outside of normality when it came to Gunther. He seemed to be very irritated that Jey Uso wasn't, you know, crashing out in terms of what he wanted. He didn't fear him, even though he had bathed in his brother's blood. He seemed to be upset that Jey Uso wasn't trying to, you know, cower in his presence. He seemed to be mad about that. But he made his stake and he put it in the sand and he simply said, I am going to destroy you at WrestleMania. He said that everything that you stand for, I'm going to destroy. Everything that is you, I'm going to destroy. And he was like, I'm going to call my mother the next day and tell her I was damn proud of it. And then he, dropped the microphone and walked away. That was essentially what he did while the crowd booed him out the rafters. Shortly afterwards, Jey Uso cut a promo. And Jey Uso made it very clear. Why am I not on screen? Am I on screen? Oh, I was about to say, bitch, where am I at? I wasn't in the corner. I wasn't nowhere, ho. Okay? Goodness. Anyway, I'm just trying to look. I'm like, where the fuck is that at? Why am I not on screen? Like, girl, I had a whole condition. I'm like, am I here? Can y'all hear me? Can you see me? Damn. You can barely see me. I'll show y'all why in a minute. We gonna get to it. But Jey Uso came out, and obviously to the roar of the crowd, they were in Sacramento, if I recall. And Sacramento is that is home for the Usos, and a lot of the Fatus live in Sacramento. Some of them are from there. Others were born and raised in Pensacola, but they migrated to Sacramento. But that's home for them, So them going to Sacramento is like them going to Florida. It's definitely going to be a time. You know what I'm saying? The crowd was very much on their side, on Jey Uso's side. They gave him all the accolades. They played his song 4 times. But he said what he said as well. He basically came out and was just like, Gunther seemed to be a little mad. He seemed to be a little rattled that I'm not, crashing out per se about him. He said, this is the thing. He said, I done had my time to cry. He said, I'm going to get you at WrestleMania for me, my brother, and my whole damn family. And I'm going to be the world heavyweight champion. And then he danced his ass out of that arena and went to the back and went to go rest up because Saturday he has a big match ahead of him. He is going up against one of the greatest WWE wrestlers of all time. He is going up against one of the hardest hitting wrestlers of all time and one of the hardest wrestlers to beat. Gunther is not no easy feat. A lot of people talk a lot of shit about Gunther. They say a lot of bad things, good things, in between things about Gunther. But one thing you cannot deny is that man will wrestle your ass down. And if you don't step up to the plate and do what you're supposed to do and take him out, he most definitely will do you exactly that way. He will destroy you. Okay? So Jey Uso don't have a choice. He don't have a choice. It's either you put him down or you get put down. Simple. It's like watching the finals. You win or you go about your business, my nigga. More like March Madness, because it's only one shot, one kill in March Madness. You get about 7 tries in the NBA if you're lucky. You know what I'm saying? But in NCAA, you get one shot, one kill. You either win or you go home, dude. There's no, let's keep going for another couple matches and see how good I am. You win this one or you don't. I low-key need them to introduce that to the NBA, okay? Because it's going to be a lot of teams put down in the beginning, honey. Why? It's fun that way.
They just recently upped the all the playoff, every round of the playoffs to 7 games a couple years ago because of 1 seed lost to an 8 seed. In the first round of the playoffs used to be best of 3.
Well,
first round was best of 3. Second round was best of 5. And then the conference finals and the finals was best of 7. But when you had an 8 seed be the 1 seed in the best of 3, it'd be able to, hell no, that's bad for TV.
I don't see nothing wrong with that.
No, ain't nothing wrong with that, but they like, that's bad for TV.
I don't think that's bad for TV. If you a 1 seed, there's no reason for you to get upset by an 8 seed. That just shows your lack of ability to stay on your game.
Yeah, hell no. That 1 seed went on TV long enough.
That's bullshit.
We need more ratings.
People are still gonna watch.
Oh no. Again, people still watch.
They're liars. Like, no, I don't want to hear that. That's a whole other conversation for another day. Keenan said, I hope Triple Nose gets a lengthy run. I'm watching you, Triple Nose. Hell no. Jey Uso. He said, I hope Jey Uso gets a lengthy run. I'm watching you, Triple Nose. I'm going to be honest with you, Keenan. I don't think he's going to get that long of a run, babe. I really think it's going to be like, it's going to be 3 months. Maybe. Like after Backlash, because they probably going to make him run it back against Gunther at Backlash. After Backlash, and he successfully defends the title, to be honest, he might have one more clean month in there where he defends successfully at the next PLE. But I suspect by Money in the Bank, he will no longer be World Heavyweight Champion. And I'm not even trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? Not even trying to be funny or be disrespectful. But I'm not, because of the way the fans treat champions like Jey Uso, you have to think like Kofi Kingston. You have to think like Big E. Cody in the beginning when he became champ. Like, people really prefer the chase than they do the actual win. You feel what I'm saying? And to just be honest, like, it don't have to be nobody of a heel persona to take the title off of Jey Uso, but it's gonna be, obviously. And he's just not, the fans are not okay in a sustainable manner with a face champion like Jey Uso. As much as they want to say they are not. Because as soon as he gets that title, they're going to turn on him immediately. It's going to be like, oh my God, they're not doing nothing with Jey Uso. And he would have had the title for maybe like a week. Mark my words. Not Triple Nose. He called him Triple Nose, child. I mean, it's bad for the gamblers, but not bad for TV. I don't think it's bad for the gamblers. I don't think it's bad for the gamblers at all. If you, because you, it's not like you only got one team you can put money on. Actually, you know what I'm saying?
That's actually for the gamblers because you want the lower seed teams to win.
Because that's more money in the lower seeds. It's more money in the lower seeds, so it's not
because they're not the favorite.
Exactly.
The higher the odds are,
the less money you make.
The higher the odds are for a particular team to accomplish said feat, the more money you get.
the higher the odds are that the team is gonna win, you're not gonna make that much money. If it's Golden State going up against somebody like, I don't know, Orlando, the Magic,
Yeah,
more than likely the odds are gonna be in Golden State's favor.
correct.
Which means you're not gonna make that much money if you win that bet, AJ. The stakes are high when it comes to the lower seeds. Is it not?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is,
I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but what you did was when you cut cross me, you cut off what I was saying and you mixed it all up into what you were saying, and I wasn't saying what you were saying. That's what I'm saying. I said what I said. He got it. Don't you start with me. Hopefully he gets at least 6 to 7 defenses. He'd be lucky to surpass 4, if I'm being fair. Okay, so off of the gambling, back to Monday Night Raw. Now we already covered Gunther and Jay Uso. Cool. Karrion Kross and AJ Styles. Their match was a little wonky today. It wasn't great and it wasn't bad. It was just wonky. There was some parts in there that was a little bit obvious ring rust on Karrion's part, because Karrion haven't been in the ring, especially on a Monday Night Raw, in a very long time. But Karrion is playing very much into his character work. He had his gear made like AJ Styles. He wore long pants today, which was weird as fuck. Hair was long like AJ Styles in the ring. It just was an odd thing to look at. He lost, but he lost willingly. Karrion stood there, put his hands behind his back, and took the phenomenal forearm wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't trying to protect himself or stop the fight. He legitimately was asking for it. So, he kind of like sacrificed himself, if that makes sense. Right? Then you had him getting attacked by Karrion, and then Logan Paul came out there for the attack after he ran this stupid ass promo package. It was a weird time, or just a weird thing to do in the middle of a show. Like, if they had ran the promo package, and while the promo package was going, he attacked AJ Styles, that would make better sense to me. I don't know what's going on with Monday Night Raw, but it just seems like everything is so weird and odd when it comes to him specifically. When it comes to Logan Paul, it's such an odd mix, a merry band of idiots. Like, they're so weird, and you're just like, what are you doing? Why are you acting like you don't know how to do this? Like, you are not, like, you just got into the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're acting like they don't understand how this works. And I'm very, very confused at that. Very, very confused. I just want him to really take some promo classes, more specifically some acting classes. I need him to have something more to say than what he's saying, because it's not worthwhile. And I genuinely will give people the benefit of the doubt when it comes to wrestling, because wrestling is overly produced, and done over so many times. But at the same time, I do expect quality. I don't expect you to just run in and you get to have a match. You don't have to prepare for it. Are you halfway decent in the ring? Yeah. No one is denying that. And the move you have is pretty cool. It's nothing wrong with the move. I think it's cool. But your delivery on how you present yourself is trash. The way you act when you come out there is trash. There's no substance to you. You are all flash and nothing else. You provide us with nothing. You're not entertaining. They put you out there every few months. We get a couple of rises out of you, and it's just like, at this point, my dude, like, you could stay in the back. This match has no business being on night 2 of WrestleMania. I'm sorry to AJ Styles, because he doesn't deserve this, but this match don't have no business being on night 2. None whatsoever. But if I was Roman and them, I wouldn't want Logan Paul on my show either. So, fair enough, I guess. I mean, Anywho, let's move on. So the first match we saw actually was Liv Morgan and Bayley. Liv Morgan and Bayley actually had a really long match today. They went out there and they was wrestling for about 10-15 minutes. They had a good match. It was 2 commercial breaks in that match. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty good. But at the end is where we got the pivot. So Cobra back came in there and put Jones's foot on the bottom of that rope. And that's what caused all the drama. Lyra tried to come in there. See, this is where Lyra be pissing me off. Lyra had the damn title, holding the title on her shoulder, and still trying to fight Cobra back. Bitch, take off the damn title. Okay. No. Did she?
When she got kicked in the face, it was around her waist.
I thought it was on her shoulder. Take off the damn belt. There ain't nobody gonna steal it. Hell, you the damn owner of it. Shoot. Anyway, she got kicked in the face by Cobra back, and Jaws thought she had it with her Oblivion, but Lyra got up in time. After Cobra back had gotten basically laid out by Bayley. When I tell you Bayley laid that hoe out, she was stiff out in the ring. Cobra back was asleep, honey. Now, Liv tried to use the Oblivion, but Lyra was able to get up and hold Bayley so she wouldn't fall into that Oblivion, and Liv hit the ground, hit her back on the mat. That's when Bayley was able to hit her with a roll up, and they was able to beat. She was able to beat Liv Morgan. Now I don't know what this means for Saturday. Oh no. The girls are going to be on Sunday. They're going to be on Sunday. The tag team match is going to be on Sunday. I don't know what that means for Sunday, but Liv and Raquel got some time to get back on Lyra and Bayley if they want to. It's totally up to them. There was a lot of promos being cut. A lot. Child, she was out. Okay? She was down and out. Okay? No pun intended. But, so there was a lot of promos being cut. Okay. And before we get into that, we got one more match that they did not announce or have a graphic for. And that was Julius Creed facing off against Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio ended up beating Julius Creed only for El Grande Americano to come out there and attack him. And they put that metal plate in his head. And he beat up everybody. Everybody from LWO got beat up. Everybody got beat up. It was a good match between Julius and Rey. It was a little bit of a little sloppiness going on, but for the most part, it was a much cleaner match than Karrion and AJ Styles' match. I can tell you that. With more time, I know AJ Styles will be cleaner. I mean, not AJ Styles, but Karrion will be cleaner. I've seen him be cleaner. It's just this match with AJ Styles was a little wonky today. And the match between Julius and Rey was okay. Like I said, it had its clunky moments, but it was okay. But the real kicker, the real mess was this right here. Okay? Now, before we get into the mess, there were some promos cut. Bianca, Io, Rhea, the War Raiders, and the New Day all were able to say their piece about their respective opponents. Now, Bianca Belair made it very clear that she's been going through a lot, but make no mistake, she's still the best in this company. Undefeated at WrestleMania. Still has beaten both of Io and Rhea Ripley. So she is not afraid, and she is not going to lay down and let them just take this away from her. She said she had to claw, scratch, and climb to her opportunity. So she is not about to let this slip through her fingers. She said because come WrestleMania, she is going to be the EST World Heavyweight Champion. That's on period. Now, Rhea Ripley's promo was more geared towards Bianca, still completely ignoring Io Sky. She was completely focused on Bianca, and then she roped in Io Sky at the end. Essentially, Rhea Ripley was just like you like to, make a point that you're the best and you got everything under control. So I just took a page out of your book. I just behaved and took a page out of your book. You wanted to be a part of the scene that had nothing to do with you. So now I'm a part of a scene that had nothing to do with me. Turnabout is fair play if you ask me. But Rhea, Let me ask you a question. When you was facing off against Liv Morgan and she took your man, she took your family, and she took your championship, you ain't do Liv the way you doing Bianca Belair, because not only did Liv Morgan get some revenge on you, which Liv Morgan was owed that revenge. Let's make that very clear. Liv Morgan was not the villain in the beginning. You definitely were. Whatever receipt she made good on, you owed that to her. Okay? So let's just call a spade a spade. And to be fair, I ain't never denied Liv Morgan no damn receipts. What I said was it wasn't fair for everybody else to pay for Rhea Ripley's sins. That's what I was talking about. So let me make that very clear. Okay. Now, when it was Liv Morgan and y'all was going at it, what if Io Sky did what you did to Bianca Belair? You would be mad that she is even in the match. Would you not? Like if Io just decided to weasel her way into this match between you and Liv Morgan, you would be pissed off because you would feel like she has no reason to be there. Same thing goes for you, baby. Had you had not given Io Sky an opportunity at that championship right before WrestleMania, you wouldn't be in this mess. You would still be champion, and your ass would be facing off against Bianca Belair. But it was you who got overconfident. It was you who was overzealous, and it was you who wasn't paying attention during your match. It could have been 75 people out there. Doesn't matter. You should have kept your eye on the prize because you know your big ass ain't never beat Io Sky before. And you know that she was a better opponent and she was a formidable opponent, somebody who was easy to take that title from you. And instead of you focusing on the task at hand, you decided that Bianca was a better place to focus. And you didn't give Io the respect she deserves. That's why you're no longer champion and you're now the tortoise to her hair. Let's just clock the T. And all you Rhea Ripley titty sucking babies, y'all can keep quiet because the reality is y'all mommy didn't do her job. That's the problem. She said she did that for a title match. I don't give a fuck what it was for. It was dead ass wrong. I'm like, bitch, you did that for your own merit, knowing what was at stake, and did. Because you was no longer going to be at Mania. See, this is the thing. You should not have given Io Sky a title shot before WrestleMania. The risk is way too high for the reward. That's your damn fault. You should have protected your peace. Now, you was out there to help Io Sky, true enough. And you got a little too overzealous and you cost the girl an opportunity at the Elimination Chamber. But shit, if Io Sky was really mad about it, she would have took some initiative, okay? Like I would have. And I would have beat Liv Morgan's ass. I would have first took out Cobra back, and then I would have beat the shit out of Liv Morgan and went inside the pod so she couldn't get in there. You gotta take a page out of the fucking Edge's book and start shaking some motherfucking tables. You out here giving charity and you the damn champion. You stupid as hell. I'm not giving you nothing. The fuck? I don't owe you shit but a handshake and a smile. Fuck out of here. Shoot. Now if they want to do something crazy and add Liv and add Io to the match, that's their business. But you created this problem. And now you want to be mad because you fucked up. Yeah, because in the beginning you realized you were the one who fucked up. We saw the promo on social media. We all saw you on there crashing out. About to rip your damn hair out because you done lost that championship. Girl, stop playing with me. And Io made it very clear. She said, both of you hoes is acting like I don't exist. But let me tell you something. If it wasn't for me, neither one of you bitches would even be in the vicinity of each other. I'm the reason you're here. I'm the champion. And after WrestleMania, I'm going to remain champion. And both of you hoes could go back to your respective corners. And I was like, period, Io. I don't care who win this match. As long as it ain't Rhea Bloody Ripley, I don't give a damn. I don't care. If Io wins, congratulations, Io, girl, I love you. If Bianca Belair wins, hello, black women, black woman, okay. But if Rhea Ripley wins, child, Triple H, I'm gonna cuss your ass out. I'm going to cuss your ass out. Because you got me fucked up. Okay? Shit. Now let's talk about this messy ass ending to Monday Night Raw. Okay? It was messy as hell. The only thing that we have to talk about when it comes to the War Raiders is simple. The War Raiders said that the New Day tried to end their career when they went after Eric's neck. So Eric and them said, this ain't no fight, this ain't no match, this is war. And the New Day standing up there playing video games on their phone like children. Standing up there talking about we busy. We playing Clash of Clans or whatever. And Jackie was like, well, look, bitch. Listen here, Teddy. The motherfucking War Raider said your ass is going to war at WrestleMania. What you got to say about that? The war, New Day said, bitch, war? A war? War? If they want to go to war, so be it. We're the greatest tag team of all time, and we gonna prove it. And when they raise our hand, everybody ain't gonna have no choice. Because you see, we've been going to war. We've been going to war. Okay? Look how these people treat us. Look how these fans treat us. Look how the locker room treat us. Look how everybody treat us. It's us against the world. But you know what? It's okay. Because once we win at WrestleMania, and win we shall. Okay? You ain't gonna have no choice but to bow down, get on your knees, and thank God for the New Day. Let me tell you something, Sideshow Bob and Carl. Okay? Let me tell y'all one blessed thing. All right? There ain't no motherfucking way I'm gonna pray and bow down to a bitch who got a mustache, who ain't got no mustache and all chin strap, looking like a grown man boy. And a motherfucker who's, you know what? You about to make me cuss you out, Xavier. I'm finna go in on you. And where I'm finna go, you really don't want me to go. So all I'm gonna tell you is watch your tone, keep your teeth. Because I guarantee you, y'all gonna win probably at WrestleMania. And I don't really give a shit. I'm gonna be honest with you, baby. I don't give a goddamn if you win or not. But if you take your black ass out there and get to talking about some bow down and I'm the champ and thank God for the New Day, I'm not thanking God for nothing. You understand me? You understand me? Not a goddamn thing. Okay, you worry about getting that pressing curl for WrestleMania. That's what you do. Okay, and get them naps on your chest straightened out while you at it. Damn it. Now, shit, you pissed me off up in here. Had your Mighty Mouse looking ass in the goddamn camera. Talk about something. Thank God for the New Day. Bitch, you better thank God you still got a job. Okay? Shut the fuck up. All right? Stop playing with me before I hurt your goddamn feelings. Ugh. Wrong with you? She said the taco meat gotta go. He gotta put a straight iron to that bitch. Or a perm. But they suing motherfuckers for perms, honey. I don't know. You might want to get you a nice little, Dominican silk press for them bitty beads on your chesticles, okay? Anyway, guys and girls, the moments was at the end of the show when it came to Paulina, her husband, her current husband, and her ex-husband. Okay, and it was given very much my ex is here. But my new man is here. You can't be touching on me like that. That's how it was. But first, I need to play y'all something. And hopefully, it will not, tag me for this. But I need y'all to see and hear what I saw on social media earlier. So, take a look.
This time last year, I was untouchable. I should have tightened my grip around this company's neck. It was a wise man that taught me diplomacy. You gotta think politically. I tried to help everyone. Most of them don't understand what a helping hand really what that really feels like. What do I get for it? Netflix, TKO, the mainstream, $1 billion deals. And somehow I'm out on my ass. I lift everybody up, and somehow no one's got enough respect to just be true to their tribal chief. My father didn't agree with me. He used to say, son, why do you care if they respect you? Why do you care if they acknowledge your talent and your contribution? Let's have it.
Now, here's the thing, y'all. I told you that stories are often told in pieces and parts. And if you don't get the whole story, then you will never understand what you're watching. So you have to understand that Roman has been systematically broken down piece by piece until he has nobody left to rely on but himself. Paul Heyman was the last line of defense for him. He was his last level of protection. Now he is truly and ultimately on his own. And it all started when Paul Heyman asked for a favor from CM Punk last year at War Games. This favor was not because he was trying to bring his friend into the bloodline or because he was trying to make his friend a part of the bullshit that the bloodline was having going on. This was all done to protect the bloodline and more specifically to protect the tribal chief and to give him back the one thing that gave him the status that he so desperately clung to, and that was his Ulafala. And his little cousin had it. And in order for him to get it back, he had to defeat him in tribal combat. But it had to get to that point. And before we even got there, Roman Reigns couldn't even get close to Solo enough to get the Ulafala back. He couldn't even look at it. Okay? Without him being laid out by Jacob Fatu and Tama Tonga and Tongaloa at the time. Okay? So let's just keep it real. Every time we see Roman, something else is being taken from him. And it's about damn time because you cannot cause the chaos and anarchy that he has caused for almost 5 years and have no consequences. The world doesn't work that way. And if you're looking at this with rose colored glasses and you're just like, well, he's a tribal chief, he can do what he wants. Nobody can do what they want. In a perfect world, you would be able to get whatever you wanted and whatever you needed, and nobody would have to worry, right? In a perfect world, we could pay decent rent for our houses, be able to buy decent food, but it doesn't work that way. And even in all of that, even the people that are doing the evil deeds that they're doing now, they are only signing the death warrants for their transgressions later on. Things always have a way of coming back to bite you in your ass. And his stance is, I should have just, kept my grip around this company's neck. You think so? That would only mean that your downfall would be even harder. Look at his counterpart, Drew McIntyre. Somebody who really deserved to have an opportunity at a championship and to be champion in front of a crowd, but he couldn't get out of his own way enough. And if you look at it, every single time, every time he gets closer and closer, something always happens and takes everything away from him. Why? Because he can't get out of his own way. He can't take accountability and responsibility for the things that he has done in the name of truth, and everybody knowing that he's a truth teller. Yeah, you can tell the truth and still be a chaos starter. You could still be a shit starter. You could still be considered a tyrant and still take people to the top. You can still have a big company, have a massive legacy, and still destroy those who have helped build that company. Look at what you did to your cousins. Look how you treated them. They were nothing to you. And they made sure you stayed tribal chief for years. And despite all of that dedication, despite all of that love, despite all of that admiration, you still acted as if they had to prove themselves to you every single day of the week. They didn't have an opportunity to just be them. They had to be you. They had to be them. They had to protect you. They had no choice because you didn't give them one. And Paul Heyman, well, Paul Heyman played the part. And he enjoyed it because he was protected. And at that time, there was no CM Punk. So he didn't have to worry about having loyalty to his friend and being loyal to you. But then things change. Survivor Series comes along and you're standing there. You need help. A year or two has gone by and CM Punk has made it very clear that he is in this company not to make friends, but to make money and history. And for the most part, he's kept his word. He's making the money, and he made history with his historic return. Now, you know exactly why Paul Heyman made this deal with CM Punk. But CM Punk is playing you, and you don't understand the ramifications of it. One thing about what Seth said is true. CM Punk doesn't care about anybody but himself. Paul Heyman probably is included, but he makes sure that Roman is as uncomfortable as possible. And he is doing things and using you to do it. And you are being a fool. Now, Seth exposed a lot of things today. When Paul Heyman was there, he sat there all night waiting for Roman to show up. Roman hadn't spoken to him. He hadn't seen him. He gets there and he's seeing Punk is sitting there with his arm wrapped around him. And that pissed Roman off. And Roman went to the ring. They started this conversation. And it went like this. Roman's out there. And he says, Tribal Chief. He says, I'm the Tribal Chief. But I can't help but ask. I can't help but question. You know, why? Why did you betray me? Why, wise man, when, I gave you everything? I've been there for you. I took care of you. Why? Why did you betray me? The crowd is leaning into it and they're screaming, you fucked up. You fucked up. You fucked up. That's what the crowd is saying. So Roman, being the showman that he is, he leans into the crowd. And he says, out Sacramento, I don't think he heard you. I think y'all might have to say that a little bit louder. And Paul is standing there because he doesn't understand. And Paul's basically looking, and in his mind, he got to be saying, I did what I did because I had to. He said, I gave this man a favor and I kept my word and I have to keep my word. Roman says, favors are usually paid, by those who make them. Why am I the one who has to bear the brunt of this favor? And I have to ask you a question, Roman, because something in my brain isn't clicking. What about this means that you have to bear the brunt of his favor? How does this trickle down to you exactly? Because if that's the case, then you're acknowledging what CM Punk says. You're acknowledging that Paul Heyman is your safety net, right? You're acknowledging that. Hold tight. I gotta put my computer on the charger. Let me get the charger cord. Oh, glory. Ooh. Where's my charger cord at? Oh no. I have no charger. We're gonna die, people. I'm sorry. I had to get the charger cord, child. It was finna go dark in a minute. Aaliyah said, yeah, that part confused me. I was like, that's not adding up. 2 plus 2 equals 4, not 7. The only way it does add up is that you have to acknowledge what CM Punk said before to be true. Is that you rely on Paul Heyman for absolutely everything, and that he means more to you than just being your wise man. He is literally the epitome of what makes you who you are. And if you don't have a wise man, then what are you? Who are you? Because a betrayal would imply that he intentionally did what he did out of spite. And to be honest with you, I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all. Paul Heyman 100% called CM Punk because he was the only man to, one, answer his fucking phone call, and two, that was going to agree to the terms that he presented. Not only that, but CM Punk is the one who added the addendum. I will do this for you as long as you give me a favor. And Paul Heyman said, done. All in your protection, all to ensure you had what you needed to maintain yourself as the tribal chief. But oh, how quickly we forget. We forget that Paul Heyman did what he had to and self-sacrifice so that you can get what you needed. Because it would have been you, Sami Zayn, Jimmy and Jay in War Games against all of the other Bloodline members and Bronson Reed. And I'm sorry, but you going into War Games a man down and them having Bronson Reed, which is the equivalent of 3 fucking people, I would have asked for some help too. Yikes. Now you said flat-footed because your ass is flat-footed, okay? You stood flat-footed and said, I don't ask for help. I don't need help because we take what we want. But your ass needed help at War Games. And you know you did. But your got in the way. And you almost lost Jay by how you was talking to him. And you almost lost Jimmy by how you was treating him. Your lack of ability to be able to have foresight and understanding for other people is the reason why your bloodline fell apart at the seams. And it is the very reason why CM Punk was able to come in and take over the way that he did, even though you say you built this company to get the TKO signing, the Netflix deal, that without you, it wouldn't have gotten done. And when everybody saw an opportunity, they turned their backs on you. And the reason why is because you ruled like a tyrant. You didn't rule like a loving and caring king. Admiration comes from love, my tribal chief. And while you may know how to mimic it, you damn sure do not know how to show it. Now, Seth Rollins comes out there and peeps your whole card. He says, tribal chief, you almost got it. You are almost there. You almost understand. But he says you almost got it because you're missing a piece. It's unfortunate, though, that I have to be the one to take you down at WrestleMania, along with your counterpart CM Punk, because what you fail to understand is that the stakes for this match are very, very high. Whoever wins, they are the ones who lead this industry into the new era. They are the ones who shape this company in their very image. And I'm sorry, but I'm not about to live on another 10 years of you. Somebody who walks in here and comes and wrestles whenever he feels like it. He doesn't show up day in and day out. And I'm damn sure not gonna walk around with a bunch of little CM Punks having a selfish, elitist attitude in this company. No. This company needs to be shaped in my image. In my image. Somebody who's going to show up here every day, busting their ass, breaking their backs for these people and for this company every single day. And you want to know what that final missing piece is? The missing piece is that it's finally starting to register with you that Paul Heyman is a selfish bastard. He's been a snake his whole life, and he is just waiting for the opportunity. But you know what you fail to understand? A favor is a choice. You choose to honor a favor. Now, I'm no genius, but Paul Heyman went to a man who was his friend. He had rapport with this man years. I mean, they call him the first Paul Heyman guy, right? And all he had to do was grant CM Punk one simple request, a request that was at your mercy. So Paul Heyman's never been your friend. He's never been there for you. He was always looking for the next way out. Now, one thing about seeing Seth Rollins is he might say a lot of crazy shit, but he wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. The only problem I have with this statement is that this is a manipulation tactic. And this was Seth's way of turning Roman against Paul Heyman. So Paul Heyman could make an easy choice. Paul Heyman's already going to be in CM Punk's corner. And just like we've seen so many times before, it only takes a few conversations for the wheels to start turning in people's heads. When people already have an idea of you and somebody else is able to come along and sway them, that's not them being able to change how you think or any of those things. They simply are just giving you that extra push you needed to go over the edge. And because Roman is so filled with anger, frustration, and he feels like he's being betrayed, he cannot see through the weeds. He simply only can hear what he knows to be true, and that is that Paul Heyman is no longer on his side and he's truly alone. So the next thing he does is he turns around and he says to Seth, or he says to Paul Heyman, Seth's right. He's right. I can't trust you. But instead of he hitting Paul, he hits Seth and takes out Seth. And then Paul is standing there. I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And he mushes Paul in the face, pushes him on the ground, and Paulina is shaking by the sheer thought that the tribal chief could ever put his hands on him that way. How dare you do this to me? After everything I've done for you, after everything I've sacrificed for you, after how I have moved and strategically placed you in this company, how could you do this to me? What's the look on his face? And that's when CM Punk came out there to take out the tribal chief, which he ended up doing. But in his concern for Pauline, he ended up eating a spear for his troubles. And not only that, but Roman was beating him down. And then Seth Rollins came with another receipt. That receipt was a chair to Roman Reigns' back, a callback to the very first time that Seth Rollins ever turned on his partners. And he was wearing something very similar to what he had on today, which if you were paying attention, you would have saw that he was going to do something crazy. Now, not only did he hit Roman Reigns in his back with the chair and take him out again, he curb stomped CM Punk and he curb stomped Roman Reigns. Standing tall with a chair in his hand while Paul Heyman cowered in disbelief and despair. And that's how the show went off. The reality is Roman Reigns created this destruction. He is the very reason why all of this is happening, due to his grip on the company's neck. Never mind the fact that CM Punk has been gone for 10 years. And never mind the fact that Seth Rollins has made his pleas to stay away from Roman for over 5. This situation probably never would have came to a head if Roman Reigns wasn't such a tyrant while he was champion. Everything he did led to the moments of him losing everything. His family, his title, and now his wise man are all gone. And all Roman has to do is rely on what he claims he is. He says he's the tribal chief. So now it's time to put up or shut up. You don't have any political protection in the back. And diplomacy was something that your wise man taught you. But that doesn't mean that you don't know how to handle your business. If you can't get in that ring and wrestle and maintain your footing at the top of the mountain in this company, then it'll prove that Paul Heyman gave you all the power that you needed. And without him, you absolutely are a powerless tribal chief. On the other hand, CM Punk has all the momentum and all of the power on his side. But that doesn't always guarantee him a champion or a main event win either. Sometimes the rules is in the game. And when it comes to CM Punk, while he's a master player, oftentimes he is easily manipulated by those who he loves the most. You never know who you have in your corner. And this could all be a major ruse to not only screw over CM Punk, but to put the tribal chief back where he needs to be, which is on top of the mountain. And the very last person you have in this fight is Seth freaking Rollins, somebody who's been stirring the pot of this entire feud this whole time. In the beginning, he was a hothead, mad that CM Punk was even getting any monogram of what he ever wanted. But he calmed down and he began to become a strategic wrestler, very similar to his early days as the Architect. He started to think, and when Seth Rollins thinks, you got a major problem on your hands. Not only is he a very good wrestler, but he is a cerebral assassin, obviously. He learned that from his father, Triple H. He's very easy to use his manipulation tactics on everybody in his crew. The only person it doesn't work on is CM Punk because they're two sides of the same coin. But he was easily able to manipulate Roman. It only took a few more nudges in the right direction for Roman to go off and do what he did. Seth Rollins could swoop in and win this match at WrestleMania. He very well could. Maybe. But I don't think that he will. I'm going to put my money on CM Punk. But we'll get into predictions on Wednesday when we talk about WrestleMania. WrestleMania night 1 is shaping up. Saturday is night 1. You're going to have Stand and Deliver at 1 p.m. And then you will have Mania at around 6, I want to say. The kickoff show will probably start at 6, and the show starts at 7 or 8, I think. Yeah, it starts at 7. So night 1 is going to have Tiffany Stratton, Jey Uso, and Gunther. And of course, the main event is going to be these guys with Seth Roman and CM Punk. Night 1 is also going to include, let me get my phone out here. Make sure I get all these answers right. Okay. You're also going to have the War Raiders facing off against the New Day. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. And like I mentioned earlier, and then finally on night 1, you're going to have Jade Cargill facing off against Naomi. Night 1 is a pretty solid show. A lot of people are talking shit about WrestleMania and that this is the worst Mania they've seen. But here's the kicker when it comes to Triple H and how he books his PLEs. Oftentimes, the cards don't look as great as they could be, but the matches and the card quality usually eats down when we watch it. And I suspect that this is going to be a very, very good show. It's going to be different for sure, but it's going to be a good show nonetheless. So I hope you guys have your sheets, you ready, and you're excited. You're ready to move because Mania is going to be a fun time. And if it isn't, you got to go into Mania with no expectations, clear your mind of everything, and just watch and enjoy the show. And I promise you, you will have a better time at it. With all that being said, I will see you guys on Wednesday when we talk about NXT. NXT has a few things going. Okay, we have got the what is it? A fatal four-way to determine who the number one contender is for Ricky Saints North American Championship. Okay. And there's a lot more going on. All right. We got so much going on. Of course, Dark State done won. Right. There's a tag team gauntlet match happening next week, I think, to determine who will be the number one contender for Fraxium and Axiom's championship. There's a lot going on this Tuesday, but for us to watch on Saturday. So I hope you guys are going to be tuned in Tuesday for NXT, and we can talk about it on Wednesday and have our normal lifestyle chill time. For those of you who showed up Saturday for Rico's book reading, I appreciate y'all and I thank y'all. We had a good time. In another week or so, we'll be back and do another one on a Saturday. We're just going to have a quiet little chill session. We're going to drink some wine, probably eat some snacks, and just enjoy some good book reading. Okay? I love y'all, and I will see y'all on Wednesday. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe for more wrestling content. Check out our merch and consider becoming a member for exclusive perks, special emojis, and members-only content.